welcome everybody to Blerdlines. We are about to watch Batman Knightfall, the animated. Let's check this out.
You are the weakness that drowns Gotham. I intend to break you. Then give it your best shot.
I love that. I love that at the end they showed the comic. Because it is a really good book. I mean, for those of people in the audience, or most probably in nowadays would be familiar with this story through The Dark Knight Rises, obviously, because of Nolan's adaptation of particularly that storyline of Bane breaking the bat. And so this looks really good. It was a simple trailer. It did what you want these kind of narrative trailers to do, which is build on the tension in the story. And the story is already there. Batman is being pushed to a certain point, and now he's got a pretty badass challenger coming after him in his own home, in more ways than one. And you see that. But man, Michael Mando, it's barely recognizable, but doing Bane justice. And I like that they're giving him his Latino origins, that's great.
Ray type stuff. Yeah. I would say that. I was like, so you just watched the Batman Knightfall trailer, and I think that's the thing that I am impressed about the trailer the most is the voice casting. And I think that we have Anson Mounts as Batman. We have Michael Mando as Bane, and he was previously in Brand New Day and Spider-Man's trilogy as a Scorpion. Essentially, he was also in Orphan Black, which is one of my favorite underrated sci-fis. As Vic the Dick, also a good character. But yeah, I think they did a really good job of just introducing the audience that knows who Batman is, but doesn't, and maybe knows who Bane is, but now they get to see some other people that all wrap in there. And in the comic, currently, they brought back Bane, and he killed Alfred, and Alfred's been dead for a while actually, and it's kind of nice because they made it a traumatic thing so that basically Bane comes, kicks the hell out of Damian, and then kills Alfred. And then Damian has basically trauma for the next X amount of years from basically. And so
Bane. Yeah,
yep, exactly.
Which makes sense. He couldn't save Pennyworth. I know that gets to Damian.
Yeah.
Yep. And so then recently, the recent comics, I think Bane's holed up on one of the dinosaur islands or whatever. He has a daughter and stuff like that. So Damian goes after him. Of course, Batman comes, and then there's a whole thing about that. And so, but yeah, it's pretty interesting. I like that they've made Bane also a foil to Damian as well in a completely different way, but still with the same level of gravity. Because, Damian is the asshole. That's his character. But Pennyworth was the one that kind of kept him on the straight and narrow and made him understand a better way to be, as opposed to being how his dad is and how his mom is. It's you don't have to be an assassin, and you don't have to be a vigilante. You can be your own thing. So there's a respect that Damian gave Pennyworth a lot. So taking him away from it gave him a lot motivation for the Damian character in the comic book. So it's going to be cool to see how they play this out. I think that I'm glad, like you said, that they gave Bane more of the Latino roots, because it gives him a more depth of a character too.
What do you guys think of the animation?
DC is doing what DC has been doing for decades at this point in the animation field. So I can't think of a thing that I've seen since probably Batman Superman Apocalypse that I was like, oh, that animation is and that was 15 years ago, maybe almost 20. Before
That's a good point. That one wasn't great, but
pretty before
the last thing I said,
I can't think of
before
anything
and after.
Before that, I can't think of anything that I was like, that's disgusting.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I mean, and they keep what they're saying. Studio Mirror does a lot of their stuff, and Studio Mirror does. They did Young Justice. They took over the last 2 seasons of Young Justice, and they've also done.
You could tell
Vox Machina and The Mighty Nein and that kind of stuff. So DC's smart in terms of they always make sure that their animation's on point, and then they do better with the voice casting. And I like that DC treats their animations like events. Like they make them a thing where like Marvel will, we'll throw it on Disney Plus. So we're just throwing it on da 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 da. They don't really put that much effort into it. So when when they do something good, it's great, but it's so few and far between that DC actually makes like gives them the budget, gives them a whole team, have solid directors and like things. They do one too many Batman movies, but other than that,
they've seen pretty sizable success with their animated division, so it makes a certain amount of sense that they now throw a bunch of money behind it. So I know Anson Mount doing voiceover ain't cheap by himself, much less for the other members of the voice cast. So him as Batman is a big get, and it's probably pretty expensive. So there's
even Michael Mando, I think, pretty good, because you listed a lot, but you didn't mention him as Ignacio Vargas. Better Call Saul.
Better Call Saul. True.
Yeah.
And he did all three of the Spider-Man movies too. So like I think you're right.
He's in this one with the bigger role, right? The next one, the fourth one. Yeah.
Yeah. Just the voice cast alone, they definitely spending some dough. And also too, the story of Knightfall is actually really cool. Like it was the first time that we see Batman actually lose and like don't get back up. Like he gets defeated, but he doesn't lose. And Bane like he loses this, and to the point where they had to they pass off to and you have 3 chapters of it, and it was interesting because I was reading up on it. And I remember back when it first came, Knightfall came around the same time Death of Superman came around, and when Death of Superman came out, it was a big deal. It was an event, like it was pretty dope. So a lot of people said, "Hey, this is Batman's Death of Superman," and of course the writers are like, "Nah, this is not thing." It kind of has the same.
Was
spiritually, I get what they're saying. It's both. They came at the same time, and they were both pivotal events that had happened, and that for the first time you kind of had this happen in DC, where both of the main, the two of the 3 top people are taken down. Top superheroes are taken down. Superman being taken down, that was Doomsday, right? And Death of Superman. Yeah. And then the equivalent to that, Batman would be Bane, a Bane or somebody. Yeah, Bane in terms of strength and power. Yeah, it would be Bane. What's great is that he's not just a muscle head villain. Like he is strong. He's got the strength, but he's also incredibly cunning. And that's what really is appealing about this story. Is not just the fact that he takes down the Bat, but it's how he does it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I think that's the part that was cool, because at first, as a comic book reader, when it first came out, we just saw this big hulking dude breaking Batman's back. We didn't know anything about anything. And then we read it and we're like, oh, this dude is super smart. He did all these things. And the last thing was broke his back. He broke him down mentally and physically. He was tired. He was like, let all the villains out. So Batman was running back. Yep.
You see that in this trailer. Even though the animation and the design of the lines in Batman's face, it's all visually there, and the moment where he beats up a criminal, and I forget which character is telling Gordon, like your hero is losing.
Montoya.
Yeah, Montoya. Yeah. It's like your hero's losing it. He's like, must have broke a guy's jaw or something. I don't know. He put a guy in ICU. I don't know. Is that different than y'all?
And I like that for that specific trailer, it is something that always annoyed me the most about Marvel stuff is when I do animated things is they tie it back to the comics. They literally were like, hey, this is Batman Knightfall. And at the end, they're like, if you want to find out where this comes from, here are the books. It's very simple. It's literally one slide. And that one thing will probably gain them more readers just because they're like, oh, this is a book. Let me go wander into my comic book thing. Boom. There's
that was really good. I was like, yeah, that's super what simple, you do. Yeah.
100%. And it's funny because it's not a hard thing to do, but it's an easy thing that when you do it, it does help people that because not everyone's going to do it, but on the chance that someone does, boom, you just now got a new reader.
You're going to get a good amount of people who are going to now go and either they're going to find it somehow, purchase a hard copy or digital. They're going to
digital, yeah.
And and I feel like I think I can speak for all three of us. We've wanted animated Marvel for a while. We've wanted something at least at least approaching what the DC animated universe has done from Marvel. And so far, they've pretty much fallen short. They haven't done it.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I haven't seen anything from Marvel that I can think of, aside from X-Men 97.
I was going to say, only X-Men 97.
The other efforts that they've made have just been like, what are y'all doing? Like, come on, man. This is the house of ideas, man. Like, y'all got it. Like, it's there. I feel like they're
too many ideas.
I feel either that or they're not putting their resources to work for them. Like, you have you have some of the best comic book writers in the biz in your barn.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I would say like they did do it for a short period. They had a thing called Marvel Animated Features, and it lasted from like 2006 to 2011. And so this was the time when they did like,
was that the Thor Hulk thing?
Yeah, they did Ultimate Avengers. They did Invincible Iron Man. They did Doctor Strange.
Some of those were really good.
Planet Hulk. Yeah, Planet Hulk.
So Planet Hulk was
Asgard.
dope. So Ultimate
Hulk
Avengers was dope.
And the Hulk versus.
Yes, Hulk. That was first. Yes. Yeah. And the Wolverine versus Hulk. Those are the three things that stand out. Literally everything else is mediocre to trash.
Yeah. And
what era did X-Men, not to keep, because this is Batman, but what era did Wolverine and the X-Men come in? Was that around that same time?
No, that was a little bit. That was a little bit after, because that was the last. It went from X-Men animated series, and did X-Men Evolution, and then they did X-Men Wolverine and X-Men. So that was a little bit in the 2000s. I should double check the time frame, but that was another one. And even that story, they were the people that they worked with was it was a Canadian company, and they were booked to do 2 seasons. So that's why the ending of Wolverine and X-Men ends in that cliffhanger, and then. And then they, by whatever shenanigans happened, this is 2009, sorry. So 2009 is when Wolverine.
2009, January 2009. Yep.
So whatever shenanigans was going on when they were renewing this contract didn't happen, but the animation studio and the writers, they had already fleshed out at least a 2-season arc that would like kind of do it. And again, whatever business shenanigans happen, so that's why it's gone away. But you're right, Marvel doesn't put the same amount of because DC uses their animated shows like comics. They're like, oh, let's pick out this random elsewhere story and make it a comic. Oh, a movie. Let's take this one little one shot and make it a story. Oh, let's take this, and they have a lot of fun with it. They don't. Nowadays they don't produce as many series as they used to. They have the Adventures of Superman, which is on HBO right now. It's about to get a spinoff.
It's still going. I'm blown
away.
Season.
I'm like that. It's the third season of that show.
DC animated can do no wrong, man. Even when we don't like it, like somebody out there,
or when we're not paying attention. But it's just like with Amazon's The Caped Crusader, right? So it's like silently successful
I watched
on Amazon. No, it's a good, if you are into Batman, and especially the detective, the OG Batman comics, like that is like perfect noir style. It's good. It doesn't have to be, it's even set visually in I think the 40s or 50s or something like that.
They kind of did they did a Bruce Timm type of thing where they're like,
exactly,
kind of old but not really kind of a thing. It was cool.
Yeah, exactly. So they've been doing some good things, and I think to your point about them adapting arcs, here you have it with this one. They did Watchmen with JMS, and he. That one was really good. A good example of what you're saying, like how even though Watchmen is not like DC proper, but it's still DC now. And this is just going to be the same thing, and they're rolling it out in multiple parts. I think as long as they continue upward and not. So the only weak spot they've had recently, and we all talked about this, was the Crisis. The Justice League Crisis 3-parter. The saving grace was part 3. The saving grace was part 3.
Off. Yeah.
Yes. But part 1 and part 2, you're like, what is going on here? Like, what are they pay it off for part 3, but it's not worth the journey.
No.
And so as long as they steer clear of that and get back to what made them great, and this looks like it's continuing on that path, then, like you said, Josh, DC Animation probably can do no wrong.
I was going to say, what have they whiffed on with Batman specific? Like Batman Solo, I can't, like the last thing that I can think of that they whiffed on was like
the Killing Joke.
That first Mr. Freeze joke they did.
Like Killing Joke. Killing Joke's another one.
Killing Joke.
Killing Joke. Well, yes. Okay, fine. Yeah.
Objectively, it was mediocre.
The added stuff at the beginning actually brought it down. So yes.
Yeah.
If they'd have just done it straight from the book, it would have been fine.
Yep.
They didn't need the added context and the
100% agree
with a relationship between Bruce and Barbara. That was
that is what really is what killed it, because it wasn't in the book. And
it wasn't in the book. It wasn't in the book.
Yeah, and this is one of those cases where you're like, that wasn't in the book, and DC usually doesn't do that. And when they adapt it straight, it's always better.
It's always good. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
They've had a couple misses, but usually their misses are just like they're just meh. Like they're not horrible.
They're taking swings.
And Batman has like Batman Samurai, Batman Native American.
Batman Samurai is so bad.
Batman Kung Fu. Batman Kung Fu.
What was the one with the dragon?
Tiger. I think that might be the Batman Kung Fu that was like almost like a 70s exploitation.
It was like a 70s like martial arts.
Yep.
I did not like that one. Like that was also a. So they have had some.
They've had some misses.
They've had some misses, because we're now thinking of War World. And like, they did the War World movie, and that one wasn't great. So they've had some. They've done enough. But they've done enough that when they do miss, you're kind of like, it's not that bad. You're forget them. You forget them
because the batting average is so high.
So I think overall, although I am annoyed, it's another Batman thing, but at least it's another cool Batman story. And it's cool that they like doing this. That's gonna be kind of fun. And I like that they're intentionally going to do the 3-parter. So that makes it kind of cool that they're, as opposed to just taking it and ramming it all into one movie or like whatever.
Yeah.
So I think at the very least they're committing to being like, hey, we're going to do a 3-part series of this story, which is dope. It's a 3-part thing. And I think they can do it well. So I'm excited. I think it's gonna be kind of cool. It'll be something really fun. And they don't really steer us wrong too much. So I think it'll be kind of cool. So
silver liner for you, Cam, is you get to see Batman get brought low. So that's the silver liner for you. He'll be brought low in this. So you
and I love the Azrael. And I love the Azrael character's design too, from Joe Quesada and Jim Palamoni. Yeah. It's like a really cool, because I remember when it was first introduced, everyone was like, "What is this guy?" Like, he looks completely different than anything I've ever seen in comics.
And Batman.
The story was super interesting, and Batman, and I was. When they dropped, we were all like, "What is this?" Like, it was one of those things where you're actually, as a comic reader, you're actually shocked. Like, this is a really cool, interesting character. So,
yeah.
Didn't they release like a vanity version of Knightfall with like a broken mask or something like that?
Yep.
They've got a few versions out there. Yep. That's one of them. Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right. It's like a tinfoil and had a broken mask. Like, it was dope. Yeah, it was really
cool.
Okay. All right.
But yeah, so once again, this is Blerdlines. Like, subscribe, tell a friend. This is gonna be kind of cool. But we out.